Winner's Lounge in the Munder.
Oh, boy.
What is up, everybody, and welcome into the Winner's Lounge. Did we drop the shirt already? Is it already a drop?
It's
already been dropped.
It's been dropped.
There it is. You guys see, we got a brand new one. MVP.
It says Joker is king.
Joker is, well, that's not what it says.
That is what it says.
What is it? That's how it translates to, but what it actually says is...
Oh my goodness! I didn't even see that part of it. This is.
I think it's like Joker, yay,
Don't embarrass yourself.
Craj, or
For the people.
We're gonna get killed for that.
Yeah, somebody help me with the pronunciation there. Jokic is king. Jokic gonna be part of this game. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm pretty hyped, and it's not just because of this beautiful shirt that I've been waiting for us to drop, and now it's dropped and it's gorgeous. Not just because of that, but also because I feel like this was a very meaningful game, and there's a lot of little... I got some takes today, guys. Not every lounge do I have takes. I've got some takes today. We're presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. You can download and use promo code DNVR. How'd you do, Dev?
I won. I won tonight.
All right.
I'm hot, man. I'm hot. When you're hot, you just keep on going.
You just keep going?
He's hot.
Well, I'll take your word for it, because I don't know if I will. I took all your bets, so we'll have to see. Over here, the man with the wind in his hair, wearing sweatpants in a bar, trying to normalize it. Not going to happen. It's Harrison Wind.
I think it's normalized. You don't think it's normalized?
Not normalized.
It feels like a little too normal.
All right, I got 12 more games to normalize it before the playoffs.
It's not going to happen.
Or 11 now.
Definitely not going to happen. I got D-Line, the mad genius behind all of our artwork. I say me and him both. We combined, we have made all of the shirts here.
I would say I'm more mad than anything.
And then Superstar Dev, Superstar Johnson, whatever you want to call him.
Back in the Winner's Lounge. It's been a while since I feel like I've been here. It just feels like a long time, but I'm back, and I'm excited. Let's get started.
Let's freaking go.
Hit that like button as you're watching us, guys. Give us some support. Get all the Nuggets fans in here. We want everybody in the house. A house party, Nuggets fans only. We're trying to get everybody in.
Come through.
So I gotta say, I don't know if you guys are as hyped as I am. I'm very hyped for this game, and it's not because, there were some things that went right. I mean, Memphis clearly on the second night of a back-to-back, they couldn't throw the ball into the basket tonight from the three-point line. There are things that went Denver's way.
Gordon has entered the chat.
Hey.
Garden! Nothing can stop Jokic. It's so true. Nothing and no one. But I felt like there were a lot of meaningful things that came out of this one, including great defensive identity. Like the Nuggets, one of the things that happened when Jamal Murray goes down and then Monte and then Barton was, okay, what are they going to be? What's their identity going to be? I feel like defensively and offensively tonight, we saw a clearer picture than we had seen in any of the previous games. Do you feel it all that way, Wind?
Definitely. I mean, the bench deserves a ton of credit tonight, because if you're talking about like a defensive identity, that's the group that brought it in that third quarter, I really thought. And say what you want about the Paul Millsap, JaMychal Green combo, but that group gets stops. That group gets stops. I can't wait to see what like the plus minus is tonight with them on the floor, because they couldn't have allowed more than like 20 points when that second unit was on the court. So that was huge. And Michael Porter Jr.'s night, I thought was super, super notable. He missed his first 2 threes. Then I felt like he moved his game within the arc.
So funny.
He totally did.
He was attacking the rim. He was getting to his spots, getting to that mid-range pull-up. He flashed a lot off the dribble, I thought, tonight. And the two-man game with him and Nikola Jokic was in rhythm. They got a lot of easy buckets off of that. So MPJ showed a ton tonight, and he got 31 points, I thought, in a different way than he usually does.
Oh.
Yeah, I noticed he was inside the arc a lot, because I was like, go outside of the arc. That's where three-point shots are originated. But it's true. I mean, he was scoring in a lot of different ways. He was active. I mean, the thing that surprised me most about this game is that it was really the Nuggets got a stranglehold on it with the bench unit.
Yep.
It was like close with the starters kind of the whole way, 2-point, 4-point. And then in the third quarter with that bench unit, they just put their foot on their neck and they never let up. It was amazing.
Michael Porter Jr. is just one of those players that when he's on, everyone seems to just take the back seat and let him do his thing. This was a night that Jokic only takes 12 shots in the game. And it's because Michael Porter Jr. had it going. This is a game that Jokic was aggressive, got to the free throw line. He could have had a big night where he goes for 40, 50 points. But he decides to let Michael Porter Jr. have his moment. And we've already discussed multiple times this year about like who's going to be the leading scorer on the night. Now that Michael Porter Jr. is alongside him, he has such a high ceiling that he's going to be the leading scorer on some of these nights, and we hadn't seen that before this. Like with Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and Jokic, and them sharing the ball, it's always Jokic. But with Michael Porter Jr., he could explode at any time. He scores in so many different ways. This was a night that he had it going from inside and out, and that is scary for the rest of the league.
I love the way Porter's game is coming along, and it's weird to say I don't know if it would have this way without Jamal Murray. Not that you ever wanted that injury to happen, but I do feel like Porter, the talent level, the shot making, it's been there since 2 years ago when they drafted him. It was there. But it was figuring out where your spots are and understanding the game and why it's important to sacrifice for other players. And just slowly he's learned all that. And I feel like he's actually had this for a while. But, you know, Murray's there, Barton's there, Monte's there. You take those guys away, and all of a sudden he's starting. I thought tonight him going inside the three-point line was deliberate. It was just an understanding of I can't stand out here and miss threes all night. Not that he would have. He probably would have made them. But get in. If they're going to give me this shot, get in there. Get a little rhythm. Get comfortable. And he did. And I just feel like his game has grown so much. And it's so impressive. And here's my big take, and I just put this out on Twitter. Controversial, I guess. Michael Porter has most of his shots have been assisted so far in his career. I think that is by design, not by limitation. He's not great off the dribble. He's got to work on his game there. He's got to clean up his handle. But he's got such long strides. He's got such soft touch. Like, he's got a lot of good finishing around the basket. Not necessarily like acrobatic finishing, but he hangs in the air and then just has good touch with like little one-handed push shots and stuff. And that alone gets you 90% of the way there. Tonight, you saw more of his off-the-dribble game. Not complex off the dribble, just the ability to understand how to attack a help side defender or this or that and finish. And I think it's a huge credit to him that he has not overexerted himself as an off the dribble scorer, but said, this is my role in the offense. Yeah. Now that it's not, demonstrating he has that.
I mean, when he was playing next to Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, that wasn't what was being asked of him.
Yeah.
He was asked to be that Klay Thompson third option. Now he's got to take on a different offensive identity. And I think that's why we saw that tonight, and that's why we've seen it over the last couple games. I mean, when you're 6'10", 6'11", you don't need as big of a bag than when you're, 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2".
Right.
He can get his shot off over anybody.
Right.
And he can make those shots. Even if he doesn't get all the way to the rim, if he gets in the paint, that's a good look for the Nuggets offense if he's like shooting a contested layup from 6-7 feet away. So He could get two spots on the floor. He needs to refine his off-the-dribble game for sure. He needs to tighten up his handle. But, I mean, the instincts are there, I feel like.
Can I tell you one other area I feel like his game has really grown and really impressed me, especially tonight? It's going to sound crazy, and I don't want to overstate it, but leadership. There was a moment tonight. It was a Paul Millsap play. I can't remember which play it was, but Paul Millsap makes a great play. Michael Porter comes running out on the court and daps up every single player, was just so hyped and just so into it. And I know it's a little thing, but even defensive rotations, just little. He had a little extra energy, I thought, tonight as a leader, and he's talked about that. Look, I don't know if the team views him as a leader, but when you are one of the better players, you need to have some of those qualities. Whether you're the de facto leader or not, you need to understand leadership. And I feel like we're seeing I don't want to overstate it, but we're seeing more than I thought we were 2 months ago.
You're saying that it's leadership. I think is more so like confidence and just like the fact that he feels like he's a part of the team now. A lot of early on, it was him against the team. Like he's this young superstar that hasn't proven himself. And in the year before he started playing, it was a lot of guys saying how he trash talked and they didn't know how he would like come into the league. Then he comes into the league and it hits him like a ton of bricks, and he has to try to figure it out. So it took him a while to try to get accustomed to being that type of player. But it also comes back full circle to what you guys are talking about. You talked about how you have to give him credit for not exerting that energy. We also like discussed the fact that he can't, dribble, like he's not off of the dribble, but he doesn't have to. Like he is in this perfect situation, so he doesn't have to do those things. He's finding out ways to score easily. He's finding out ways to cut and move without the ball. And then also we already know he has an unstoppable jump shot because he is so tall. So we can't knock his limitations because he's in a spot where he doesn't have to do those things.
Right.
He's doing the things that work best for him, and it's working for the Nuggets.
Yeah. For me, it's I would call it like rapid maturation. Like he's really gone through like the rookie. I mean, we saw his like blunders, we saw his missteps. They were very loud, and he was punished like harshly for every single one. And we had to talk about it for a year, but he just gets it, man. He just gets it. He's not rattled. He's just
the tower's been rebuilt.
He was broken down. He's been rebuilt. He was forced to, and then whether it's leadership or not, just poise. Not feeling like the moment is too big for him, and realizing that his safety net is gone with Jamal Murray. Like at a certain point, like he's looking around, like, oh, I have to score, and he's not at all backing down from it. So it's great.
The leadership thing is really interesting that you made an observation, because I asked him 2 nights ago. I said, is any part of you excited to kind of test your abilities and see what you can do in this expanded offensive role? And instead of saying like, oh yeah, I'm excited to see what I can do with more shots, more touches, he said, I know I need to step up as a leader now with Jamal Murray out. And I thought that was such an interesting comment, like such a mature comment from him. And another one of my takeaways since Murray has gone down, I feel like Porter's tone in these post-game press conferences has changed. He rarely talks about like his individual nights anymore. Specifically, I think since Jamal Murray went out, he rarely talks about how many points he scored, just how he got into rhythm, anything like that. It's been all about the team.
Right.
It's been all about the team over the last couple weeks, and I just think he's really seizing this moment and just really taking it seriously. Like, oh, this is my time. Like, everybody's relying on me now. I want this. I'm built for this. I just got to seize the moment. He's doing it.
And there's some big tests ahead. I mean, look, winning a regular season game against a team on a back-to-back, it's easy to be the leader there. We're going to see he's going to get tested in a playoff when they'll probably lose a game because he let them down. Just as what happens in a playoff series. You're not great every night. How will he respond to those? How will he handle those moments of frustration? Those are going to really reveal the character. But at least right now, a regular season win against a team on a back-to-back, he looked very great. And he's looking better and better as we go on. I mean, this is now back-to-back 30-point games. He only had 3 threes tonight, guys. Only 3.
Man, he only had 3 threes because we bet that he would have 4.
I know. They're so savvy. But it's still where he is the king of the game, by the way. 31 points, 7 rebounds, 12 of 19. We talked about it starting.
Shave like a little line into that crown.
You think? Oh, for his haircut?
Just for him, like specifically for MPJ.
The other guy that I want to talk about is PJ Dozier. I think you go to him next. That's funny. I'm looking at his box score, 4 of 12, 0 of 3 from 3. Just 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block shot. Team high plus 24. We joke about PJ Dozier. He's either the team high by a mile or the team worst by a mile. And tonight was the good version. But I got to say, to me, it was the defense tonight from him. And this is now 8 quarters in a row where I feel like PJ Dozier has played in control, run the team the way it's supposed to, and played some elite defense. And I'm really impressed with him tonight.
You said that he was in control. I think that he controlled the whole pace. He controlled the tempo. This is a game that's coming on a back-to-back. And he pre-pressed a little bit tonight just because he understood that he had to run them out of their spots and get the offense flowing. And then everyone else around him aligned. He doesn't make a lot of shots tonight, but he affects the game in so many different ways. He also is like an interchangeable defender. So he makes it tough for people. Like, you can't get him in a bad spot because he could defend so many different positions, but he's always in a position to score. And when he gets it, he's going to try to score. So I think it puts the defense in like odd spots a lot of the nights. But this is a night that even though the shots are not falling, he's still being impactful.
Yeah. I mean, I really just imagined him stepping in and becoming Will Barton, but that's not proving to be his role every night. I mean, it is in that you don't quite know what you're going to get out of him, which is sort of a Barton hallmark. But he's not. And maybe, it's really just going to be a night-by-night basis, I guess, with him. Like, he wasn't really pressing too much offensively, which I really thought he was going to start doing that, like really take the spirit of Barton and put it inject it directly.
He did. I mean, he has done that this year.
He has totally. But now that role is like clear, like this is what we need from you. I just like that he came and for the most part like played within himself. He had a couple like little.
Yeah, I thought he had a couple questionable.
Yeah, but I mean, like everybody. So did Jokic.
Sure.
Like he. So.
I don't think Jokic had a questionable side, but your point remained.
Yeah.
So did everybody.
I know
but
what you're
Jokic.
saying.
Sometimes he'll throw a pass where it's like
that's true. He does do.
You're like, dude, come on.
The one he threw to Aaron Gordon that wasn't even close or something. You're like, come on, man. You don't have to try to throw the home run every time, but whatever.
Oh no, I thought Dozier, he took a couple questionable shots tonight, but defensively he was great. And if you think about the Nuggets starting lineup now compared to what it was a couple weeks ago, you sub Campasso and Dozier in there for Jamal Murray and Will Barton. That's a better defensive lineup. It just is, I think. Campasso can get hurt in certain aspects, but I think just overall he's a better defender than Jamal Murray. And Dozier's better than Will Barton, so it's a better defensive five-man group that you're putting out there.
The defense from Dozier, I really liked. We've talked about it, but that Faku, Dozier, Campazzo, or
Faku, Dozier, and Shaq Harrison?
No, the duo. I'm trying to say the duo.
Yeah, those two.
The composite of composure and Campazzo.
Okay.
We'll
Really screw. We're gonna have to workshop it. We're gonna come up with something really witty though on it. No, just those two together, I feel like defensively provides a lot, man. And I mean, look, Ja Morant is a really good player. Dev, are you coming around on Ja?
He has so many moves. He's so under control. I've trash talked him on record multiple times.
Yeah.
All my friends think that I think he's horrible. He has so many moments tonight that I'm like, wow. Under control, then he's just so fast.
He's
They just
finishing.
throw it up to him, and
Tonight
he
was
has the
crazy.
craziest finishes. I'm starting to come around to him. I'm not as high as everybody else on him,
He's
but
gonna
is he
be by
becoming
but
no
you're
longer than
2
that?
years from now. He's gonna be like, I was always a fan of
John
Ja.
Morant,
Is it-
Jamal Crawford,
Are you coming
Carmelo.
around to him? Would
I
you
don't like
become-
any of those guys.
But would you be coming around to him if you didn't win money on him tonight?
Oh, I win on him every time.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
They put his
Is that
stuff
the- is
so
that the
low.
bridge?
They put him low every time.
I almost tweeted this, but I didn't want people to think it's weird when you compare a person to a dog. I don't. People get weird about it. But you guys know the shows where the dog has to run through the slalom. You know what I'm talking about? The corgi, or not the corgi, the collie, the border
Yeah,
collie.
sure.
You know how fast they are? That's how he is. He goes full speed, and he makes left, right, left. He just makes reads,
Dude.
and he doesn't slow down. It's at full speed somehow, man.
If I find myself watching one of those and one of the dog competitors doesn't have a single red dreadlock going
You're a big
back,
fan
I'm
of
gonna be
hair.
upset.
You never don't notice hair except for when it's mine. It's the craziest. It's the
I told you
craziest
this
thing.
every
I don't want to
time.
hear it again. I don't want to hear it
notice
again.
Every time. I'm just
Would
deeply
you,
uninspired.
Harrison? Would you like to venture a guess as to what PJ Dozier's defensive rating was tonight, or I should say, the Nuggets' defensive rating with him on the court? Would you venture a guess? And if you don't know, 10. What is average this year? 110.
It's higher.
It's
this
high.
year
It's
than
pretty
normal,
high.
So probably about that. I'll
And,
say
and low is good, high is bad.
80.
Dev, you want to venture a guess?
I'll
80
go-
would be historic.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just one game.
I'll say 102.
77.6.
Okay.
Wow.
Played 26 and a
Thank
half
you very
minutes. 77.6. That means they didn't score very much at all when he was on the court.
They did have that stretch that they just could not get anything.
Couldn't get
going,
any
and He was
buckets.
a part of that, and that's why his plus minus was so high. That's insane.
77.6 defensive rating is just absolutely absurd. I really am impressed with PJ Dozier and where he stepped in his role. He's going to have to shoot. That's going to be the thing that as the playoffs go on, you have an Achilles heel, but his ability to do so many other things on his best days, not consistently, but on his best days, I mean, it's up there. It really is up there.
He really is turning into an amalgamation of Will Barton and Torrey Craig somehow.
A little bit, yeah.
He just possesses some portion of both of those guys and can be the worst version of them or the best version of them. It's a real mixed bag with that PJ.
No, but this is what happens when injuries hit. There's opportunity. There's opportunity for guys to make an impact. And now I'm looking at PJ Dozier, and he looks like a guy who's going to be in this team's plans for a while.
Yeah,
Doesn't
totally.
he? I feel like over the last couple weeks, he's gone from, PJ Dozier, he's a nice off-the-bench guy, to me thinking, okay, he's going to be a Nugget, a key player for this
Mr.
team.
Nugget?
Don't go that far. Don't go that far. But I feel like he's in the plans now.
Jokic is going to be, and I'm not trying to take anything away from PJ Dozier. He was great in his own right. But Jokic is going to be, he's going to get more people paid than anybody since LeBron James. You know, he's just, you play alongside him, the game becomes so much easier. And all of a sudden you plug these guys in and we're like, hey, is Austin Rivers great? I think he is. I
mean, Shaq Harrison?
Shaq Harrison, he's got a role. Again, I'm not trying to take away from Dozier, who was great in his own right tonight. Really, really great. Stood out even amongst a team that was standing out. Let's take a break. Before we do, though, do we have the artwork for the shirt? Can we put it back on the full thing here? Look at this beauty, guys. If you're on the fence about becoming a DNVR member, you can either buy the shirt, okay, that's $30, or you could become a DNVR member for just a little bit more. You get the free shirt.
Where's the Galaxy brain?
That's what it is, man.
Like normal person buy shirt.
Oh yeah, it's cool. That's pretty cool.
And
It's actually
then
pretty good.
Middle is I don't know, buy shirt and join the Discord.
Follows on Twitter, which by the
follows
way
on
you should
Twitter.
be doing.
Galaxy Brain. Get the shirt for free. Become a member. Get in that Discord. Let us
Hop in the chat. Hop in the Nuggets only chat.
allow us to permeate your life.
Yeah, also, if you're not following on Twitter, at DNVR_Nuggets, follow it right now.
Quest for 10K, baby. Let's
The
hit it.
quest for
Close.
10K.
Yo, we're so close to 10K. Come on, baby.
All right, let's hit our first ad break. On the other side, though, we haven't even talked about the guy in the shirt, Nikola Jokic, tonight. He was pretty good as well. Aaron Gordon was interesting. Austin Rivers actually does deserve a mention, so we got a lot of guys to get to.
Yeah, guys, Mile High City Copper Lager. It's the beer we like to drink during games. You can't miss it in that Nuggets Skyline blue can from Breck Brew. Check it out today. You can pick it up at your local liquor store. Pick it up at the Breck Brew Farmhouse. We drink it a lot here at the bar. We drink it, just watching Nuggets games at home. So a great beer to sip on the side during games. Also, Strava Craft Coffee. It's how I start my morning every single day. Nice hot cup of Strava Craft Coffee. You guys can get 25% off your first purchase when you use the code DNVR25 at StravaCraftCoffee.com. It's packed with CBD, which has been known to help cure long-term migraines, back pain, arthritis, tons of other stuff. Just makes you feel better. Makes you feel good.
Does.
So check it out, StravaCraftCoffee.com. Use the code DNVR25 for 25% off your first purchase.
Ooh. Is that the whole thing?
That was it?
Yeah.
You already got through 2 ad reads? I didn't even get a chance to go tweet out the shirt
I was
for
too,
the first
gotta be
time.
quick.
I was too
man.
busy expertly muffling a sneeze.
You did expertly do that. That was
Thanks,
really
bro.
impressive. I didn't even notice. Let's talk about Nikola Jokic real quick because the thing that sticks out to me, he gets 24 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. Okay, all good. 6 turnovers. 10 of 10 free throws. That's what sticks out to me. He got to the line tonight. He can only draw fouls against other Euros.
I think that's the rule.
That is the rule. He's like less Euro than Valanciunas, so they're like, okay, we when they like an American versus Euro, like we cannot give a foul. But wait a second, Valanciunas is more European somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah. Wow. To me, he looks like Travis Kelce too much. To me.
He does.
Can't really deal with
Identical.
That
Yeah, they look too much.
guy. They look too much, but Travis Kelce European? Is that what we're learning today?
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
It is true. That is hilarious. Like just the bar of respect. They're like just crank her down a little bit. Faku's getting calls.
Yeah, it's like Monday night, not national TV against Memphis. Sure.
You actually know my favorite moment from Jokic tonight. He gets a bad call called against him, or what was it? Do you remember? They get an and one out of it. They get a 3-point play, and so Jokic dribbles up the court and drains a 3.
Oh yeah, the
no
FU3.
passes, just
The
an
FU3.
FU3. Like that was an in not 3. It was like he was so pissed that he dribbles up and he's like, "Fine, bang."
Yeah. I thought
Didn't even look at the ref. The ref knew. The ref was like,
I'm so sorry. I'll never do that again.
kind of. He was. He
one
wanted.
of the funnier plays from Jokic tonight. Remember at the end of the first half, end of the second quarter, when there was like 0.2 left on the clock? Jokic takes Michael Porter Jr. aside, and he's like drawing up this intricate play, and he's telling Porter to go towards the basket for an oop. He throws the ball. Porter just doesn't even run to the hoop, just stays at the 3-point
Porter's
line.
like, "You're gonna make me look like an idiot."
He told him no. Also, that you can get somebody hurt with that, man.
Of
Just stay away
course.
from
Right.
there. Like, don't do that.
I saw Jokic doing that. I was honestly, don't do it, Porter. Just ignore it, man. Like, he'll
Porter
get
made
over
an
it.
executive decision,
He
and I
did.
respect it.
It was a great executive decision.
I did think it was interesting. I'm surprised Jokic only had 5 assists tonight because he was getting doubled a ton.
He had a lot of hockey assists tonight.
Yeah, he definitely did. Like, I thought Memphis, for the most part, until kind of the wheels fell off in the second half, played pretty good defense. It felt like they were forcing Porter off the 3-point line into the lane, doubling Jokic, cutting off that next pass. But then I feel like the altitude caught up to him.
Yeah.
Second half of back-to-back caught up to him.
Oh shit, guys. Haley's gonna be here on Wednesday again and super chatting us to let us know.
Haley.
Oh hell yeah! Back in the lounge.
We're credentialed reporters, and we have not been to the game, and she's been twice.
She's been
She's gonna
twice
go
already, yeah.
before we go. I mean, Harrison, you've been there a lot
Too
of
many
times.
times, yeah.
But it just doesn't make sense.
It is crazy. It is crazy to think. Are you wanting to go back, Dev? You know you can go back if you want.
I'm
Yeah,
fine.
the lounge is fun, isn't
I'm
it?
fine.
What did you think, Dev, of Jokic's night tonight?
He's just masterful. He's just,
Oh.
He does what he wants out there. It's not even fun for him at this point. He's just like, I'm just doing what I have to do just to get through this season, but he's just so good. He just he affects the game in so many different ways. And Memphis, like Harrison said, Memphis threw so many different looks at him, and it takes him a while, and then he deciphers them on the fly, and he just makes plays happen for everyone around him.
Yeah.
Everyone just has to stay shot ready or just make the right decisions because he's such a thinker, and he just knows what's going to happen before it happens. And now you're starting to see where he doesn't have to just explain to people hey, right there, you should have made that cut. Now everybody's starting to catch on, so everybody's starting to get it. So you're starting to see the flow of the offense, the rhythm of the Nuggets has been, the best that I've seen in a long time because everybody's on the same page. Yeah. And that comes with even Shaq Harrison coming in. Everybody's on the same page for the first time, and it looks great.
And I just want to add on this because one guy who in particular stood out to me as having some better chemistry with Jokic than I've seen in a while was Michael Porter. And this is going to show up on the list tomorrow because there's two plays in particular I could think of where I always say that there's a counter for everything. This is why I don't think defense and offense are 50-50, right? Offense is a little bit more because there is a counter to everything you do. Sometimes it takes all five guys reading it at the same time. But tonight there were a couple plays, one in particular where Michael Porter, rather than come and receive the handoff from Jokic because of how his defender was guarding him, he called the quick audible to instead screen for Jokic, and then it becomes a pick and roll instead of a handoff. And it's just one of those things where that's exactly it. You play long enough, you see the game, you get coached long enough, and it's like, oh, he's guarding my hip, set the screen, don't, whatever. And I saw some of those tonight from Michael Porter, and I was like, he's getting it.
Yeah.
That's where you become unguardable, when everybody on the court can read it.
Yeah, I was going to say, early on for Jokic tonight, he was getting doubled hard early on, and he had the ball knocked out of his hands a couple times. And a lot of what is making will allow Jokic to fully unlock himself is other people.
Yeah,
because
so
you
true.
can double him, which just means somebody else is open. But early on, the rest of the Nuggets were kind of standing around; they weren't really helping him in that way. And so then, once you get to the point where the other Nuggets are making you nervous also, that's when Jokic is completely unlocked and he just can pick you apart surgically. This
is my thing. If Jokic was on the 2014 Spurs, he would have won the MVP and the Finals MVP because that was a team that had 8 guys, 9 guys, whatever it was. Everybody that played knew how to read and react. And once you start doing that, and I think with the Nuggets, in the Murray-Jokic era, the two-man game simplifies that. It only takes 2 guys and everybody else's job is so simple, so you don't need to do it. But the more you get all 5 guys, which is harder, there's a larger margin, or the error likeliness of an error goes way up. But it also becomes more effective if you really master it. And the Nuggets are being a little bit forced now to go away from two-man game, pick and roll, because there's nobody to really run it with, and they're getting some more interesting things at its best. Its lows will still be way lower. But Aaron Gordon tonight I thought was also impressive. He gets 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. He goes 6 of 10. And here's the big one. 2 of 3 from 3.
Let's go.
Yeah. Before the game, Michael Malone, to your point, you felt like he was actually calling him out.
I feel like the Nuggets want to get more out of Aaron Gordon offensively. Michael Malone a couple days ago, before the Houston game, I think it was saying how, look, we're out. Jamal Murray, Will Barton, we need guys to step up. It would be great if Aaron Gordon could be that third option. I think Denver wants to get more out of him. And look, he seemed so comfortable within the offense, I thought, when Jamal Murray was healthy, when he was that 4th or 5th option. Over these last couple games since Murray's been out, he's seemed a little unsure of himself, a little unsure of his role when he's been asked to do more. But I felt like tonight he's settled in. And I've got to think the 2 threes helped him calm down a little just to see the ball go through the net because he hasn't really hit much from beyond the arc so far since the trade. I thought he had a nice night tonight. Only 22 minutes, but he had a nice night when he was on the floor.
Yeah.
Also, with that, it seemed like he kind of came to life after Dylan Brooks put him in that full Nelson, and then he busted
That's
his
right.
nose up. He kind of got aggressive. He kind of got pissed off in the game.
I want him to be meaner, if I'm being honest.
I know he is a little too nice for my taste.
You started to see it after that. He tried to get some dunk-ons. You started to see the flashes of the Aaron Gordon that everyone else wants him to be, instead of just trying to fill a role or just find gaps and try to cut and things like that. And then you see him take some confidence shots. Even the one that he missed, it rolled in and then rolled out. But it was in the flow of the offense, and also like he went after it. And that's what you want to see from Aaron Gordon. You don't want to just see him trying to pick spots in that offense. Go do what you do, and then also be a cleaner, be a hard worker. But you have the green light and the ability to score.
Yeah, in the immortal words of Vic Lombardi, we just need more assholes on this squad.
Yeah.
I wish that Aaron Gordon was more of an asshole. Like it seems like he should be. He's a imposing enough guy, but he really is just like so Cali chill.
Yeah,
And
he's so chill.
And then when he got hit in the nose, like he had he could have really hurt Dylan Brooks. He was undercutting him after he went up for that block. But he's too chill, bro. he didn't hurt him. Instead, he took it on the nose.
Hey, yeah, but you know what? Dylan Brooks did the thing where he's like, "Yo, my bad, bro. We cool," and he was like, "Nah, we're not."
But it was like, nah. But yeah.
No, I don't know. I liked it. Most guys will like dap it up and walk away or whatever. And he was like, "No, man.
Yeah,
that was BS."
Pretty early on in the game too,
Yeah,
right?
that was a little BS. You want to know my actual favorite play though of the night? You remember when he got a post up, left block, held it for about 20 seconds, and like so many guys just keep somehow he didn't lose it though. He's like the opposite of MPJ. Like nobody could take the ball out of his hands. They just kept slapping it and actually getting it.
Guys just kept falling off of him. Like other guys coming.
And the ref didn't even know what to do. Like it was.
They're like jump ball. No, 5 seconds.
Back to the basket for like 10 seconds. The two guys were guarding him for like 10 seconds. He like pump, like he couldn't read anything that happened. I was like, what the hell is happening?
But you remember how the play ended?
A bucket.
A 3, I think. It was like a kick out 3, so go for it, man.
Well, they've talked about getting him the ball on the block more, and I don't think necessarily to be a scorer or like a post-up guy.
Yeah.
But they want him to be a bit of a playmaker from that position, the pass out like he did a couple times tonight, just to get the ball moving. And if the Nuggets want to get Aaron Gordon going, I don't think it's with ISOs.
Me neither.
With post-ups where he's looking to score and you clear out. When the ball gets popping more, that's how he gets going.
Attacking closeouts or bringing the ball. The only other way I like, because you mentioned that you feel like Malone wants him to be more involved on the offense. I actually don't know that I feel that way. I'd like him to handle the ball and to attack closeout, so catch the ball more on the move and try to make something quick off of it. But more than anything, I just want the intensity on the defensive end. And to me, that's more where the Nuggets need him. And it's not even like that they need him to make these stops or make these plays. They just need him to be intimidating.
Yeah.
Because it raises the overall intimidation of your team when you have one guy like Ron Artest out there who's like messing things up.
And out there fighting the crowd. His offense is really like Millsapian. You know, like he'll shoot some threes. Well, he'll kind of get in there. Millsap's like around the basket a lot more than Aaron Gordon. But he really, he just is kind of that. Like he's a younger Paul Millsap in a way, which we kind of, I made that a comparison early on, but I didn't know how accurate it was going to be. I really thought like maybe he'd be more like young Blake Griffin. What do you mean?
I don't think it's that accurate.
It is. It's like he shoots a couple threes. Like he gets,
I guess like the shots, like where the shots come from. Totally. But Millsap is like crafty. Aaron Gordon's a little robust, I would say.
I guess so, but I just mean like what you can expect to get from them from an offensive standpoint. Like the production is not so dissimilar. Like
Paul Millsap is like a really great dancer, but it's not like a traditional dance. It's like, hey,
it's one for old people.
It's like a Chilean folk dance, and you're like, but I'm the best in the world at it. You're like, oh wow, I've never seen that, and it's
and the DJ's playing hip hop.
The DJ's playing hip hop, and you're worried. You're kind of like, all right, the beat's there, I guess. I don't know. It's weird, man, but kind of looks cool. Let's go to Austin Rivers next, because he's the guy that is fighting to become a full-time member of this team. And it's funny because I look at the stats here and I see 0 of 4 from 3. That's the most important number to me. Somebody on this team has got to become a reliable three-point shooter, and I'm not sure it's going to be Austin Rivers. But to his credit, he does two things, and he has done them pretty consistently that I think are important for Denver. One, he can be a threat off of the dribble because he's got that super quick first step, and he hasn't been too aggressive with it. In fact, he's been extremely passive. I think the right amount of passive. I actually don't think they need him to take more shots than what he's been doing. So I don't know what my take is on him just yet, and there's only a couple more games before we have to have one. But I would say that I'm really impressed with his buy-in to the system, and he does have a few skills that I think, okay, that could click. Just the shot's not falling. But I thought he was good tonight.
Yeah, that's not a bad night for him. 3 of 8, and he's not making any threes, but he also still affects the game just because he does the dribble penetrate. He also kicks out now, which teams are not even used to with him. And also, you could just see the maturity. Like a few games back, they said that he's basically referred to like the things that he's lost over the last couple of years and how he didn't buy into things. And now he is on a really good team, and he's starting to see he doesn't have to score to be effective. Like he's still plus minus 15. He's still with that second unit that doesn't ask for him to do too much. Just to be himself and be that veteran presence, and he showed that. This is not a great or a good Austin Rivers game, but he still did enough to like still warrant like coming on for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean he's been there, done that, man. He just runs the floor. Like his shooting has not been great at all. He had some good finishes tonight though, and he shows flashes where he's pretty quick, like a lot quicker than you would expect. I think if we're like hoping to rely on his 3-point shooting, like it's not a great sign for the Nuggets. Like, but it would be nice if he could add that.
Yeah.
But he's just like he was running that second unit. Like he was running, and he was running the second unit when they took off.
I do like giving him the ball in pick and rolls.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of that.
Super competent,
but it's also just different than what everybody else on the team provides. Like he's got that quick herky jerky style, and it's just different, you know. And I think there could be something to it. Totally. I do think the recipe for an Austin Rivers. This is true of also a Campazzo or a Dozier. They could make 60% of their threes for the last 12 games. We get into a playoffs, I still wouldn't buy it. I'd still be like, I don't know.
The Utah Jazz of 3-point shots.
But that's messed up. But you get into a playoff series, and if Austin Rivers has a 4-for-4 night, that you win. Like that.
Totally.
And is he a guy that can make 4-for-4? He's at least capable of that.
He's done it, baby.
I think probably more competent than a Torrey Craig. I don't know what the numbers say, but it's just like the shot looks good. Torrey Craig's shot never look good.
Sure.
Austin Rivers looks good but doesn't go in. I don't know.
But the buy-in that you mentioned is super impressive because if you think about Austin Rivers, he's on a 10-day contract. Like this is a guy who's fighting for a contract next season. Like his NBA future is a little uncertain. So I think for him to come in, and you can tell he's kind of fighting it.
Yeah.
He's passed up open shots that he probably would have taken on a previous team. He's passed up opportunities to, just try to get his own offense. But he's really bought into the system. And it's been impressive because I feel like that was the biggest question mark around him. Would he really be a guy who fit in? And he has.
So far, very, very much fit in.
Yeah.
Hasn't stood out, but he's fit in. Paul Millsap, dad, had himself a game tonight. Especially had himself a stretch. There was like a stretch where he was especially
he probably stretched.
He probably did stretch. He goes 5. That was such a dad joke. He goes 5,
and
yet I laughed. And yet I laughed. 5 of 11, 2 of 5 from 3, gets 4 rebounds, 12 points, plus 11 in 14 minutes, and he had some classic. I felt like he was feeling himself tonight.
Yeah,
he had datitude, dude.
He definitely had some attitude. We might need a Paul Millsap shirt. It's just him like staring not like normally into his datitude.
It's a magic man.
The magic datitude.
Magic man. Yeah.
But also speaking of the magic man type of stuff, it seemed like the ball just found him. Like somebody will make a pass, the other team will deflect it, and it'll still end up in his hands, and then he goes up for the basket. Like I don't feel like they was running plays for him. I don't feel like there was any time that he was within the flow of the offense. It kind of just came to him and he decided to score, or he like overpowered guys. I feel like there could have been like a couple of and-one baskets that they just didn't call. But he's just, like you said, he's crafty, he's creative, and he's an old vet that's on the team and he's having fun. And also when he gets going and he gets scoring, everybody's excited. Like he's like, Faku, when he does something, like everybody's like momentum is up. But when Paul Millsap does things, he forces the other team to call a timeout if he ever gets going, just because you don't want the momentum to like go away from you. Yeah, that should never happen.
My favorite thing is when Paul Millsap is like really like on his game and he's throwing up shots that somehow don't appear to get over the rim.
They just touch the rim, barely go in.
Slide right
sucks the rim sucks him in somehow.
But I feel like he winds up with the ball a lot and gets 11 shot attempts tonight on that bench unit, because when that second unit's playing, particularly without Michael Porter Jr., sometimes they just need somebody to be like, all right, I'm going to shoot the ball this possession. Yeah. Like nobody wants to shoot. And Millsap's not afraid to shoot it.
Well, if you actually, we're talking about how good the bench was tonight, and their offensive rating actually turned out to be pretty decent tonight. But if you go through it, 5 points for JaMychal Green. Okay, it's what do you expect? You get 6 points from Austin Rivers. That's below what you would expect. Shaq Harrison, 3. You know, it's not like guys actually scored. Paul Millsap gives you 12, and that was the difference.
Yeah.
If Paul Millsap was also giving you 6, like you kind of expect him to, you're not doing too well. He gives you 12, you're good.
Yeah, when this version of the bench unit,
How tired Dev is. It's like his 8th yawn. Every time I look over, he's just like full on.
Well,
what's going on here,
you'll
bro?
Notice
No
it's like
coffee.
it's
I mean,
always
no coffee anymore.
You'll also notice it's always after you've just
Given
gone on
us
a soliloquy.
So true.
It's like your first show back after like 3-4 day absence. You know, like your first game back after a week off.
He's so tired.
You stretch out.
He's
Why
so
did I get
tired
called
over
out?
here.
Feel it in the
Hey,
legs.
quit yawning.
Because
Quit yawning.
I'm about to start just going.
I'm telling you, I'm like Jordan. I keep everybody sharp.
You're on the list.
I don't remember what I was going to say.
Paul Millsap,
Paul
Dad.
Millsap, Dad. Oh, when this bench unit was like this version of the bench unit was first cobbled together sloppily, like they were able to defend. That's always been a hallmark of these guys, but like they couldn't score at all. And that's, I mean, granted, we're talking about 3-4 games ago. And
Right.
It's like a quick evolution. These guys are starting to learn one another and feel comfortable. And honestly, like having Austin Rivers in there to just, to me, it's like always comes down to having that floor general. That's why I want Faku on the second unit to make it work, to be like the oil in the gears. And, you know, Paul Millsap, if players are scoring and we're getting production out of that bench unit, like, I don't know, like, are we the greatest team of all time? Maybe it's on the table.
We're back, baby.
Let's go. Smug life. Let's go.
Smug life. I don't really have any JaMychal Green notes. Does anybody have
He
any?
he made 1 3. I saw it.
All right. Well, 1 for 3 threes. You know, he played more minutes than Paul Millsap. He did all right. They
Yeah.
continue to go to that 2 forward lineup. Don't love it, but, you know, got it done tonight.
It's always an adventure offensively with those two on the court together.
It really is.
You never quite know what's going to happen every time down.
Life is an adventure, though, you know?
Yeah, life is an adventure. Let's take another break. I know that Brendan should be joining us from Ball Arena very, very quickly. One more time, Kale, though. Let's go to the shirt, just so everybody knows.
Let's go to it.
Pull out your wallets. Buy this beautiful work of art. You're gonna want it for the playoffs. You're gonna want it when he wins the MVP award.
Yeah, you probably don't have to pull your wallet out. You probably have Apple Pay or something.
Yeah, if
set
you're
up.
watching on YouTube, your credit card should be just in your computer
You don't-
automatically.
You guys, this is how you know that we are the best, and I mean us personally.
Oh.
You know, you got the Spike out in Philadelphia,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
What are he making
Yeah,
T-shirts about?
Denver.
The Nuggets. He's making shirts about the Nuggets. We're making shirts about the MVP because we can, and because it's not going to feel ridiculous in 4 weeks when he's not when Embiid's not the MVP. Ours is going to feel great.
I know. And I tweeted Spike, like, his shirt sucked. It was terrible. I'm an actual real-life graphic designer. I know you think I'm a Nuggets genius, some sort of analyst.
Yeah, we do think that.
Maybe someone plucked
Many
from
people
the NBA.
That's why you're on the show, actually.
Maybe someone plucked from the NBA, a coach, something of that nature. No. This is my profession. This is my... I'm a graphic designer, so...
Eric, you don't do fashion. You do art.
Oh.
You're an artist.
Well,
Don't you
thank
remember?
you.
You remember? That's the Serge Ibaka.
Of course.
Well,
I don't do fashion. I do art.
I feel great about myself as an artist. And screw you, Spike. Let's go.
All right. Green Mountain Dental Group. If you schedule a cleaning, x-ray, and exam at Green Mountain Dental Group, you're going to get a free Sonicare toothbrush. Top of the line electric toothbrush. It's going to last you a long time. It's going to lead to healthier teeth, maybe less visits to the dentist in the long run. So check them out. Green Mountain Dental Group, located 15 minutes from downtown Denver. Schedule a cleaning, x-ray, and exam with them. A lot of us go here. I know Ali Monroy goes there. Lindsay's gone there. Schedule a cleaning, x-ray, and exam. Get a free Sonicare toothbrush today. Also, at manscaped.com, DNVR listeners can get 20% off. 20% off plus free shipping with the code DNVR. Again, that's at manscaped.com. Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-belt grooming. Check them out. They've got everything that you need for below-the-belt grooming. Check out that perfect package or the performance package.
Hell yeah.
You get 2 free gifts with that. You get that Shed travel bag, $39 value. Very versatile. You can use it for a lot of different things. You also get those high-performance, reduced chafing Manscaped boxers, which D-Line is a huge fan of.
Yeah.
He stands by those
Dude,
things.
if anybody in this world is averse to chafe,
Yeah.
it's me. I don't like chafing.
Yeah. Not afraid to admit it.
Who wants to chafe, dude?
Yeah. Again, at manscaped.com, you guys can get 20% off plus free shipping with the code DNVR. And finally, Look, if you're listening to the show, you might be paying too much for insurance.
Oh boy.
You probably are. Car, home insurance, it's expensive. Go to Gabby.com/DNVR. Gabby stands for Get a Better Insurance. Gabby.com/DNVR. What you do, you plug in your insurance info. Gabby runs your numbers against 40 of the top providers. They tell you where you're spending too much money. If you switch to this insurance, you can save X amount of money. So check them out. A lot of us here at DNVR, we've saved a ton of money, and Gabby customers save $961 per year on average. Also, they'll never sell your info, no robocalls or anything like that. So put your policy to the test. Get a better insurance with Gabby. It's totally free, no obligations. Gabby.com/DNVR, Gabi.com/DNVR.
Somebody sent me Jokic tonight. He finishes with, what was the 10 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Like, so he has a streak going of that. I don't know how meaningful that is because 10 points is like such
It's really
a low.
funny. It seems that at any point in time during an NBA season, you can say 4 consecutive numbers, and it's like, no one has done this since Wilt Chamberlain.
The percentages are the funniest one. Like, while shooting at least 33.8% from three. Like, all right, well, that sounds about right. Anyway.
Do you want to hit that super chat we need to catch up on before Bo gets here?
Yes, let's do it. We have a super chat to catch up on. What do we got? Great work, super producer
We have
Kel.
to talk about Faku.
Lost it, unfortunately.
It's lost.
It is, does Michael Porter Jr. still have a chance at most improved player?
Does Michael Porter Jr. still have a chance at most improved
No.
player?
He has no chance because Julius Randle.
That's a great point.
It's a
Freaking
landslide.
You're right about it.
And it's not even the fact that, because you can't say that he didn't deserve it. Like, Julius Randle deserves it.
Yeah, he deserves it.
The Knicks also are winning a whole lot of games, and they hadn't been before him. Michael Porter Jr. is playing really, really well, but the Nuggets also were in the playoffs before they had Michael Porter Jr. He can't win that.
I remember early on, by the way, I have a little bone to pick.
Oh, no. Here it goes.
As soon as the Knicks signed Tom Thibodeau, I was like, I think that's a pretty good signing. You guys were like, everything is passed him by, and I felt shame. I felt white hot shame, and now.
Hey,
No.
you did
I
your
still feel
picture
that
of
way.
Does it feel good standing the Knicks over here?
It feels great. I gotta be honest. I just like being right. I don't really care
They're
what
your
it's
side
about.
piece team after all.
Yeah, they are the side piece team. Wow, who would have known? That's what it all took. No, that was a great call, Eric. Hey, that was great,
Let's
man.
go,
You saw that
I
was
mean,
coming.
Julius Randle, he's a much better player this season, but he's also playing the most minutes in the league. Just got to throw that out there.
It
No
doesn't matter.
surprise, his
It doesn't
stats are
matter.
higher.
Hey,
No
man, I'm
surprise.
not taking anything away from him. You're right. It is a landslide. But Michael Porter is going to be in the conversation along with like a Jeremy Grant. Michael Porter has really improved. I also like Julius Randle. I don't like when most improved goes to a second-year player. So Michael Porter, second-year player. I just don't, because you're supposed to make a big leap in those moments.
Definitely.
I like Julius Randle. It's a true made-the-leap type guy. Where else should we go for this one,
Faku.
guys?
If we don't go to Faku, we will be canceled. We'll never be able to leave.
Did we not go to Faku earlier?
No, we did
No.
not.
Well, I saw in the chat that they want a Faku shirt, which I feel like we should make.
I have a Faku shirt that I was
La
ready to make,
Termita.
and then Faku fell off a goddamn cliff. And then,
But he's
He's back. He climbed right back up.
this is what happened.
That guy never quits, man.
Dude, Faku,
He doesn't
20
quit.
assists.
He climbed
20
up the
assists in
cliff
his
with
last
his
2
knuckles.
games.
You don't understand. Like,
Fuck.
I walk around on Earth. Like, everyone yells at me to make shirts all the time. They're like,
21
D-line,
actually.
D-line. But I just walk around. I'm always trying to think of what shirt I want to make. And it's only when God himself, or probably not God, probably like, one of the.
Is it me?
It's probably Adam.
Yeah,
Somebody
it's
just
me.
Jokic,
somebody touches my.
I get confused for him a lot.
Somebody touches my brainstem and I finally see it and I make it. And like this one, for example, I saw it on Saturday and then I just worked all day until it was done. And that's how it is with Faku. Like I sort of see a Faku shirt, and as soon as I was ready to make it, then he sucked, and so then I deleted it. So now I gotta like rejigger it. So
Yeah, regenerate it.
I'll-
We should make it a hoodie because in Argentina we're entering fall
okay.
and soon to be winter. We're going to be selling a bunch of hoodies in July.
I think he would wear it. If there's one player that would wear it.
Of course he
Probably
would.
think it's cool.
Wear it.
Yeah.
I bet he'd wear it. And it would look like he was wearing a smock in doing art. It would just be like a little dress.
I thought Faku was good tonight.
He was
thought he was
great.
good tonight.
Dude, Faku was great. I mean, the
His
thing about
passes
Faku
were
is, yeah,
awesome tonight.
he was great, but what it does is he unlocks Michael Porter Jr. He unlocks, takes a lot of pressure off of Nikola Jokic, and he creates different angles on the court because he's just so fearless. Sometimes you're like, he drives in and he'll have a wide open look at the basket, and yet he still makes some weird, crazy behind the back pass, sometimes, which is a little obnoxious every now and again. But he's diving for ball. I mean, it was just like classic Faku. It's like everything you want out of that guy.
I think his passing is good, his setup passing. But what I like even more is his like making the extra pass.
Yeah.
And this is why you said Jokic's assist only 5. I think some of this had to do with he had a lot of kickouts to Faku, who then got it quickly to the next one. It was like bing, bing.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's nice having another elite guy of that. Like, there's a lot of guys on the team that can do that extra pass. He seems to just take it to a next level by finding a guy who wasn't maybe open, but he gets it so quickly.
Yeah. And when you're a guy who is not going to be guarded from 3, like Faku is, you got to keep that thing moving.
Yeah.
Because he's going to get the ball on
That's
those
a great
Jokic kickouts. He's going to be wide open. The defense wants him to take that shot. If he keeps it moving, that keeps the defense rotating. It is a little funny that, like, the Nuggets are playing 2 guys right now who just defenses don't even guard from 3.
Yeah.
Shaq Harrison and Faku. Just, if they want to take a 3 every time down, go right ahead.
But I love the fact that he still stays aggressive. Like, he's still going to take the shots.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys would be discouraged if their shots are not falling. Then they don't take the shot. And not taking the shot is worse than anything, than missing the shot. Like, him staying aggressive is the reason that he can make those extra passes. Because they're like, okay, we don't have to really guard him, but we also know that he could hurt us in different ways. So let's just get out there to him. And then he makes a smart read or a zip pass, and those passes are fun. They really are fun, and I think that's the fact that everyone loves to play around them is because you know what to expect with them. You know you're going to get the extra ball. What NBA player doesn't want the ball? You know, and he wants to give up the ball, so you're in a good you're playing hard. No, he wants the ball. He wants the ball in his hands.
To give it to somebody else.
He just wants to give it to someone else.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just unselfishness, but he does want the ball, and he has the confidence to play in the NBA like as an undersized guard and then still make the smart plays and still make the smart reads. Like, you got to give it to him, and this is just not only energy. He's a high IQ player.
Faku plays like a dog out there, but not in the like a junkyard dog, but like a golden retriever. Like, he's got energy. You know, he's like.
Airbud?
I was just gonna say, you just got you undercut me. I want to call him Airbud from this point on. But the thing about like him being a dog and like not really thinking about what has happened or what was coming. Like, the lowest point in my life, I was walking my dog. I was feeling very depressed. He had a cone on because he just had surgery, and he was so unbothered by it. And I was like, that's right. You know, like he was still just like he had this, like, Faku's not guarded. People like dismiss him. He's this little guy, but he just like still approaches it the same way with the same vigor.
With a smile.
Tongue wagging.
This is why the termite is such a good, I think, nickname for him, is because it like takes, you know, a bug is like you're just a cockroach or whatever, but it flips it into like, I'm a termite and I'm going to freaking burrow into your brain and into your skull until you have to call the doctor to get me to remove.
Do you know what a termite is?
Each wood. But in this instance,
your brain. I think that's more of a wood thing.
Well, if they're looking for wood and they can't find it, they go to your brain.
That's how it goes?
I don't think so.
Wood
Come on, I'm making I had to push this. All right. It's not as cool if I was like, and he's destroying the foundation of your home. Or
that's even better.
The framework
I
of
feel
it.
like we compared Faku to a lot
creating
of different insects this year. Like a fly, a termite,
gnat,
a roach.
I have to tell you guys something. You guys remember Tony, my professional gambling buddy? He was on the show. He was everybody's favorite. They wanted 4 Tonys to replace the
He was in here today.
He was where?
On the show.
He was on the. So maybe people already saw it because he's texting. So I'm glad he was. He's probably texting me. I don't respond, so he hops into the chat open, trying to get to me because he declared that they would go something like 12-2 down the stretch. You know, everybody got hurt, and we're all like, "Oh, what was us?" And he's like, "No, 12-2," and it's like, look, Tony's crazy. That's why he's a good gambler. But it's why he's a good gambler. But you watch,
like a fox.
You watch a 20-point beatdown tonight, and you go, and then he starts texting me. So I like my takes. Tony puts thousands of dollars on his.
Here's a real question, though. Like, what do you really pull from tonight, like, as a harbinger of things to come? Like, does tonight just feel good because they beat down a team? Or does it actually, do you feel like you saw something that is showing you things that may come?
Look, if they come out and lose to New Orleans, which is very possible, New Orleans is a tough matchup. They come out and lose to New Orleans, of course, you'll have to start. We really want to see. But the point for me was they beat Memphis handily tonight, and they did it with a cohesive identity on defense and on offense. This was a team that I thought played the way they wanted to play, and that's a hard thing to do in the NBA, to win the way you wanted to win. a possession to go exactly the way you wanted, and they just did that tonight. That's why I'm so encouraged from it.
Yeah, it was that for me and Porter's night. He's like peeling back a new layer to his game more and more night in, night out. And he didn't do it with the 3-ball tonight. I mean, he had 3 threes, but one of those came late.
No, Mike. No.
He's been dialed in from deep over these last couple, but he got into the paint. He had some nice finishes. He got some buckets off the dribble. The mid-range was working. The chemistry with Jokic was off the charts tonight. And I just feel like he's really rising to the occasion, man. I feel like this is an incredible opportunity for him over the next couple weeks into the playoffs to just really raise his game.
Yeah.
And he's taking advantage of it.
Is it voting time, or what's our
It's man in the iron mask
man
time.
in the iron mask time? There it is. Voting time with Brendan Vogt.
It's prison time with
Prison time. The man in the mask. He does look like Hannibal Lecter being transported over here. Brendan, it's good to see your smiling face. Well,
We
mask.
assume.
Yeah, you don't know. I'm very assumptive there, Adam.
That was very assumptive. Hey, we're all feeling good. Well, I shouldn't say we all are. Eric's. He's
I've been
mixed.
better.
We're feeling good about this win, though, and what we saw. How are you feeling being at the arena? How do you feel this win was?
It was a nice win, guys. Obviously, I'm going to talk about the vibes. The vibes are good in the arena. You know, this is 2 guys scored really, really well, and everyone else played great defense.
Yeah.
And they grinded it out, and they won a slog fest. The bench looked good. If you had to guess, guys, is Michael Malone a happy guy tonight? I would think yes. So, I mean, this was a win that just felt this team can still run with competitive teams. You know,
right?
They can beat a lot of teams. They can win a lot of games, even without those guys.
It's funny to think back to like 2018, where they almost made the playoffs. But you didn't know night in and night out if you were getting good nuggets or bad nuggets. Yeah. And now you fast forward just 3 years, and it's like you were shorthanded and this or that, and you still can expect to win against good teams. It just shows you how far this team has come. All right, the vibe. Is there any other takeaways from the game before we move to the postgame?
The crowd loves Bol, man. It's really – I've never seen anything like it. The loudest point of the game tonight was when he dunked.
That was a great dunk.
It was a good dunk.
It was a great dunk. I have to say the other loudest moment, though, was when Faku got that steal in the opening minutes. Malone practically runs on the floor to help him up.
Right, yeah.
A mini ovation for the international man of inspiration.
I love that. See? Colorado, Denver loves Faku. Argentina. Do you hear that?
You hear that? Now back off us.
Attack Matt Moore. He's the one that hates him. Direct all hatred.
You know, one more take, guys. I'm sure you've talked about this before we talk about the quotes. Jokic got the calls tonight, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which felt, on one hand, both a little dirty, and on the other hand, it was great to see. And it's a nice reminder that, like, if the MVP is officiated like every other star in this league, there's nothing you can do.
I like that we've planted our flag in the, like, free throws are gross. Like,
we don't even want him.
We don't even want him that when he gets them, we're like, oh.
I know, it's true, because they are gross. They
are
suck.
gross. They do suck.
They honestly are when people don't like basketball, they don't like free throws.
Yeah, cheating the game.
That's so true. All righty, so take us to the post game. What was Malone like? Was he finally happy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This was the happiest Malone's been in a bit. He talked about, obviously it was a complete effort, but he talked about the second half stint from the bench. The end of the third quarter, the start of the first quarter, they was it like a 20-4 run? Does that sound right to you?
Probably.
And it was all bench guys on the floor. I think there was a little bit of Porter at one point, but that made Malone really happy. And he was asked more about Porter and Malone on what's impressing him most from Porter. He says, quote, "The ball is going to find him, so he's not rushing shots right now. He's not forcing shots."
Love that.
So he's seeing a much more comfortable Porter in this second scorer's role.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think obviously dead right about that. Yeah. Finding him a lot. We're going to need to find him even more as we keep going, and I think everybody knows that.
Yeah, everybody, he knows it. His teammates knows it. Malone knows it. It's his time.
Yep.
Malone on Facundo Campazzo, he was saying, he always talks about how he knows what he's going to get from Jokic. He knows what he's going to get from his guys. And tonight he said, and I can say that same thing about Facundo Campazzo. So just more confirmation Malone is absolutely enamored with our tiny king.
He is so enamored with. Nobody loves Faku like Malone loves him.
I think Brendan might.
No one.
Brendan might.
Dude, I think Malone's got me topped, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, anybody over
then-
5'4" has you topped.
Wow. Bird getting slandered on his own show. Wow.
That was so good, though. Malone did say about the conversation around this team and the way they responded to these injuries and this notion that they're no longer title contenders, which Malone did actually call understandable from the media perspective. But he just said he couldn't be more proud of a team or a group. He says, when you know this team and you're around them every day the way he is, he actually didn't finish that sentence, but it was heavily implied. You wouldn't get any of those ideas about them rolling over and quitting and being done. He said, I love these guys. I really do. They believe in each other.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I like Happy Malone.
Me too.
I feel like the team needed. They got a back-to-back coming up. It's going to be physically, emotionally stressful. Happy Malone, it gives them a little boost.
I want Happy Malone sitting at the bar. I'm slapping in the back, sharing some dad jokes. We're both having a hearty chuckle, telling us each other what we love most about Faku.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
What's
We'll
that
try.
gonna
We'll try.
happen?
We'll
Have you
try.
even- have you even
Michael
asked-
Malone, come to the DNVR Bar. Come watch a Nuggets game here. Wait, he can't do that. Maybe one day that'll be my ultimate dream. He gets thrown out of a game. Comes to the DNVR bar. Remember when Popovich got thrown out of the game and he went to the bar? Like he went to the hotel bar or whatever.
Brendan, I have a question for you.
That's awesome. Yeah.
What'd you eat, man? Let's talk about it. Pizza, blackened chicken wrap. What'd you get?
Dude, it was like a pasta carbonara with some bacon on it.
They have
Not
stepped
bad,
up their
not bad,
game.
But dude, they have. Although I'm not sure this is what the people are tuning in for, so I'll give you guys the Jokic quotes now.
They've come a long way since boiled ham and Frank's Red Hot. Funniest
That was
meal
a
ever.
low moment.
That was a low moment, but they've come a long way. Can't
Or
complain.
the stew with the serrated spoon. That was my favorite. But okay, I digress. Nikola Jokic on the Nuggets feeding off of Campazzo and Aaron Gordon defensively, specifically those two he was asked about, and I love this. He said, I think Shaq is right there with them. And he said, you're never going to stop everybody, but if you can get 1 to 2 stops when you need it to make a run, we are looking for that. I just thought it was cool that he shouted Shaq out. Probably a nice boost of confidence for a young player. And I think a lot of people in this organization are impressed in a very short amount of time with what an impact Shaq's made.
He really has, man. And it is cool that Jokic shouted him out. That's meaningful.
Definitely. I mean, Shaq just knows who he is, man. He knows what he's put out there to do. Just defend his ass off, shoot those and one layups through traffic that he seems to score every time.
It's like he's not a good shooter or scorer, but he is a
only
good
shot.
finisher.
Well, he's quick. He gets into the lane.
Yeah.
He's athletic. He can jump. He can get up to the rim.
Yeah.
He's strong too. He looks like a football player. He can finish through contact.
I can't believe you call him Shaq and not Harrison, though.
I know. S. Harrison, you should call it.
Well, I got to admit, Shaq, for as cool of a name as Harrison is, Shaq is a cooler name.
We should actually just start calling you Shaq.
All right, what else we got? Anything else from Yoke?
Kind of a boring night from Yoke. He did say the bench is playing well. He said they're trying to play the right way. Facundo Campazzo.
Yes.
Let's go.
Mike Singer asked him what it's like to guard the opposing team's best player, which he's done so many times now, and if he takes pride in that. Faku says, quote, I don't know if it's something about pride. I just enjoy so much playing against them. 2 years ago, I was watching all of these star players on TV, even playing with them in video games. I am just enjoying that. I love that quote.
I do love that one, man, and it is cool. I thought about this when he was going up against Curry, and Curry's talking shit to him and this and that. I'm thinking, imagine his whole career watching those guys, and then it's like, hey, they're making fun of you now. You got to go out there and hold your own, and he does.
I didn't peg Faku as a big video game guy.
Yeah, think
But
about Faku on
that's interesting.
NBA 2K.
Wait, I think I heard a story this week about him being a big video game guy.
Doesn't
I
he have
can't
a
remember.
PlayStation tattoo on his
Oh,
arm?
that's
I
what
could
it
be
is.
wrong.
Yeah, he has the PlayStation tattoo, like the controls, the triangle,
Yeah.
the circle,
On his elbow.
the
That's it, Adam. Those are-
the square,
Triangle, circle, X,
square,
square.
and an X,
Yeah.
He had all four of
Nobody
them, every
cares
button.
about PlayStation, so
Really? Oh wow! So he gets lowered in your book.
Faku's down.
Faku, man, he just loves the game. Loves the game. You can see that in his play.
Any game, really. Do you think that Jokic still wants to play with Jermichael Green for the rest of his life?
Maybe.
Okay.
Sure.
I'll ask him that, Eric. Next time he goes 0 for 5, I'll follow up. Campazzo had another great moment when he was asked about his budding chemistry with Michael Porter Jr. But Campazzo's eyes light up and he says, quote, "He is a terrible," and then he catches himself, looks at PR. "Terrible is good, no? No? Okay, opposite of that. He's a great shooter." Hilarious.
Was he trying to be like, oh, he's a bad man?
Like, so apparently, I'm glad you asked, Harrison. Apparently, in Argentina, they use the word terrible the same way we might use bad or sick in slang. So it actually means a good thing from him. But nonetheless, a hilarious quote. And then
it's kind of like how that in Japan, Jokic is a pervert.
What?
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
It's like saying he's a freak.
Right.
Like the Greek freak would be the Greek pervert.
Oh, interesting.
So Jokic,
the Panamanian pervert.
yeah, I only know this because somebody in Japan quote tweeted me one time, and I did the translate. And they're like, anyway, they explained it.
I hope the aggregators crush you out of context for that tonight.
Jokic is a pervert, according to Adam Mares.
Campazzo nailed the landing, though, guys. He said Mike gets buckets. And then we talked to Aaron Gordon, and Aaron Gordon said it can be a little bit tricky finding your way with so many different people in and out. But he all of his teammates are in the same boat right now. He's just looking to stay aggressive. He used the team trademark for the first time, guys. When asked about the ball movement, he said, "This brand of basketball is incredible. Everyone's looking to make the right play. We play for each other."
Oh, man, one of us.
Finally, more music to your ears at home. Aaron Gordon, when asked about sliding into the third role, the third scorer's role, he said, quote, "Will's injury means a lot to all of us. He was instant offense all over the floor and also a two-way player. But it's not just me that has to step up. It's going to come collectively. I'm going to pick my spots." He did say he thinks the Jokic-Gordon two-man game is going to maybe increase in usage, but that this is going to be a team effort, and he's not going to try to force the issue.
Love it. I have a weird question. Was he smiling a lot today?
Yes.
Okay, good. His first two pressers when he got to Denver is like he couldn't stop.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want that to go away. I want him to keep smiling.
No, he smiled big time when he was asked about the brand of basketball. That question made him happy. So, listen, AG, I think, still thrilled to be in Denver.
Yeah, that's great to hear, man. That's great to hear.
Even after these snowstorms, it hasn't dampened his spirit at all.
I didn't ask him that, Eric.
I actually wonder what he does think of that, actually.
First off.
I can't imagine he likes it. Just to be honest.
I know.
Guys went from California to Arizona to Orlando.
He came in and he's like, Denver's a dope city. And now he's like,
sometimes it just snows really hard out of nowhere in the spring. And you're like, damn. All right. Anything else, Vote? Any parting wisdom you want to impart on us?
PJ Dozier. Dude, this guy, we're seeing flashes of why everyone's been so high on him for years. Why I think as media and fans, we've been eager to ascribe certain things to him that maybe he hadn't sort of achieved or earned yet, but he's getting there. And I just think you have to be really excited what you've seen from PJ in terms of trying to develop him. Maybe he's that two alongside Jamal in the future. At least for now, a reliable option. He's playing some great defense.
He's freaking good, man. Yeah. He was really good tonight. He was a large portion of the show tonight was dedicated to him and his performance tonight. He was great. Love it. We'll get home safe, Vote. That was great stuff, man. All of that was fantastic. We miss you. We're going to see you on Wednesday. Thanks, buddy.
Go Nuggets.
What a great show. Cue that outro music there, Kale. I needed a good winner's lounge. I really did.
I know.
You needed a good winner's lounge.
I don't know how to be right now. I don't know who this Nuggets team is. We've gone through the emotional roller coaster we've been on as a fan base and as a post-game show where we were, by my estimation, the greatest team that had ever been assembled for 8 games. Couldn't be beat. No flaws. To having our heart ripped out. To, okay, maybe things are going to be okay. Next man up. That actually means something when you have 3 dominant players. And then we lose another one of our top players. But the train keeps moving. And the the thing is, we don't know exactly what we're seeing because we're running into teams that like just absolutely do not want to win. Tonight is an exception. Memphis does want to win, but they're in the second night of a back-to-back. So I don't know exactly what measuring sticks we're getting here, other than we're just winning games and it feels good. But my heart still doesn't quite know where to set its expectations. But you're right. Like, it just, winning feels good. And there were a lot of fun things out of this game.
I think we're at the point, personally, where expectations are pretty low, but hope is high.
Yeah.
Which is good, because sometimes expectations are low and hope is also low. But I think hope is high. Like, this team is the team. It's the quote from Rocky, right? Or maybe it was Creed or one of those ones where he says it's not about how hard you hit, it's how hard you get hit and keep getting up. That's where we are. Denver just took like a knockout punch, but they're getting up off the mat, and here we'll see what they got.
And look, winning games, that's just so important right now, because there was a part of me that was really worried just about this team's spirit.
Yeah.
After Jamal went down, Monte, Will Barton goes down. Like, it's got to be tough to keep believing when you look at all these guys dropping with injuries, and you look at what's ahead of you in the Western Conference, but just getting these wins, keep coming out on the right side of the scoreboard, that keeps your spirit up, man. That keeps your belief up.
Dallas did us absolutely no favors tonight by not
Meanwhile,
winning.
Sacramento will single-handedly
ruin Denver's season. It's so true. Sacramento just ruined it. But you know what? Whatever. Well, a lot of games to be played. I wouldn't be surprised if the Lake, we'll see what they do.
The Clippers lost tonight.
Clippers lost tonight. Who knows? Who knows?
See.
We'll see. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button on the way out. Buy the t-shirt on the way out. Follow us on Twitter on the way out. Become a DNVR member so you can hop in the Discord and continue this chat. You enjoyed talking to everybody. What if you could talk to everybody as you are now?
Yeah, dude.
All positive vibes, none of that negative BS that you get, from the haters. What if you could have that 24/7? An idea pops to your head, you want to hop in the Discord.
Exactly. Like, as Adam, give us a like on the way out, buy a t-shirt on the way. Don't go out. Be in with the DNVR.
That's true. Never go out.
Don't go out.
Stay.
Just stay.
A lot of our members do, man. 24/7 touch point. It's great. Thanks, everybody. Great job, producer Kale. Super producer Kale.